This is Rohit Dua. I'm a tarot card reader. I'm going to read out one of my articles. If you have any suggestions or feedbacks, then they are most welcome. Do refer this video to as many people as you can, and ensure that you watch the complete entire video, and also watch my other videos. You only have to search them on the Google or any of the sites, YouTube or any of the video sites, and I'm sure you'll be able to access my videos. When your will is all that you have so as to survive. This article, I published this article in April 2012 online. When your will is all that you have so as to survive. Long ago, someone had told me that this life is an eccentric gift. When that gift comes to us, we feel that the gift is made of clay. But when we know it does not belong to us, hence will not come to us, we realize that the same gift is far more precious than gold itself. It is a trait of the human psyche to hate or underestimate the importance of what we already have. We crave for those things which are difficult or impossible to achieve. Desires and fulfillment form one aspect of your life, something which feeds the soul and also your heart. However, survival is a basic necessity. Whether one's desires are met or no, we still make attempts to live. In tarot, there are some cards which reflect the ability to survive, even when there seems to be no hope coming from anywhere. When resources required for survival seem to be extinct, when all the doors have closed, and in spite of accepting suffering and humiliation, you do not seem to find a way or the means for survival. When times turn bad, finding help from people is a foolish hope. People and relatives will only show support when you're climbing the ladder of success and prosperity. When you fall from any height, you can only look for God. When there seems to be no help coming your way, you have no choice but to accept the ending, that ending as a part of your life. At times like these, what makes us moving, or what keeps us moving or pass through these moments, is our own willpower, or what you call as our emotional stamina. The Strength card. Now I just pull out the Strength card. Yeah, I'm using a Morgan Green tarot deck over here. This is a Strength card. Okay, this is a card which is ruled by this Leo zodiac, and this is a card which gives you a very strong willpower. At least it implies someone who's blessed with a very strong willpower. The Strength card in the pack of 78 tarot decks is a very important card. Firstly, being a major arcana card, its importance is more paramount in any reading. This card implies a difficult phase in life, where struggle has been accepted as part of life, but to survive through the present crisis or to sail through this mess is the need of the hour. This card implies that the concerned person is not new to suffering, is blessed with wisdom and intelligence. However, there is no external resource or help to bail him or her out of this trouble. The only resource that is there is the inner strength of this person. What one can do with his or her willpower is something that no one else can do for them. Optimum use of willpower is no magic or coincidence. At times we do not even know what we are capable of. When this card comes up in a reading, it usually implies that the concerned person is someone blessed with a soul which is born to survive through hardships. Some people are blessed with sufficient emotional capacity to accept sufferings, and their tolerance level is much more than normal. The only problem for someone who has reached this level of thinking is their outlook towards life and survival. For them, life is a barren and a bitter journey which needs to be undertaken due to lack of choices. Losses are a part of life. We keep losing materialistic possessions throughout our life. A strained relationship or losing out on any relationship is like a bruise on our souls. If you're blessed with a clingy temperament, then any emotional loss is like stabbing your heart with a knife. Relationships are extremely sensitive and not within anyone's control. Emotions are extremely volatile. When emotions take control of your mind, one tends to forget that every course of action leads to a consequence, which could be far more troublesome than one can imagine. Not getting something that one desires the most is an emotional loss which is very difficult to accept, even if one is wise and blessed with a placid temperament. How one accepts loss is something that varies from person to person. Some people refuse to accept it or acknowledge its presence, where some people accept every loss they come across. They accept it in silence and weep within themselves. To accept something that is bitter, traumatic, and painful reflects the maturity and wisdom of that person. We all suffer, but people who suffer in silence are those who cover their wounds, irrespective how painful, bloody, and sore those bruises are. The Death card from the tarot pack is a card ruled by the planet Pluto. Now, Death card. Yeah. Now, this is the card, Death card. This is a card which is ruled by the planet Pluto, and it's a card which is ruled by the zodiac Scorpio. This is the card which gives you a stubborn temperament, but it also gives you an ability to rise from your own ashes. The Death card from the tarot pack is a card ruled by the planet Pluto and corresponds to the Scorpio zodiac. Pluto is a very stubborn, intense, vengeful, and a karmic planet. Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac and gives an ability to its natives, whereby they can rise from their own ashes. Some of the most prominent souls in history have been Scorpios. Indira Gandhi was a Scorpio, a lady who was born to rule and survive through the tragedies of her life. What the Death card implies is a very strong willpower or very willful temperament, inner strength which is next to stubbornness. You can never force a Scorpio to do something they do not wish to do. However, this card brings an ending, a phase or an event in one's life, event which is very close to one's heart. This makes it very difficult for the native to accept the outcome of this ending and acknowledge its existence. Whether the native accepts this ending or not, some facts in life remain unchanged. If the native is stubborn or clingy, then the situation or the circumstances portrayed by the card are far more extreme and beyond the reach of the native. Some doors which close are closed forever. There is no way to reopen those gates. However, this is not the end of the world. The willpower, emotional stamina, and the intelligence of the native is extremely resourceful and fertile, which gives the native an ability to survive the trauma and regenerate from this disaster. What remains unchanged is the feeling of bitterness and an extreme urge to take revenge. Revenge is a feeling which we all experience at some point or the other. Whether it is ethical or no is something I cannot comment on. To each his own. What I know is that the feeling of revenge consumes a lot of energy within. Energy that could be used in an optimum manner. The energy which could be used in an optimum manner gets wasted. We also end up wasting a lot of our own resources so as to seek revenge. Whether it turns out fruitful in the end is something that only time can tell. However, let me also state that revenge as a feeling gives some of us an unknown hope to survive. I'm not against revenge, and neither am I propagating revenge. It depends on the circumstances that you go through and whether you are in a position to make the right choices. In life, what is important is survival, irrespective of how one achieves it. We may talk about ethics and morals. Unfortunately, what matters in the end is the result. The purpose of my articles or blogs is to ensure that my readers gain something in the end. In this article, I have covered different emotions corresponding to major arcana cards, namely the Strength card and the Death card. There are times when we feel we do not have the courage to face a particular situation or an event for reasons unknown to us. During this phase, one can meditate on the Strength card. Keep looking at the card. What you need to do is, first you will need a tarot deck for that. If you can't get a deck or if you can't buy one, you can download the image from online or on Google or any of the sites and get it printed or just keep it in front of you. Look at the computer. Ideally, get a printout of that so that you at least have the image of the card. Okay, so there are times when we feel we do not have the courage to face a particular situation or event for reasons unknown to us. During this phase, one can meditate on the Strength card. Keep looking at the card and try recalling its meaning or relevance of the picture as much as one can understand. All you will need is a pack of cards. You don't need to buy a book if you're short of money. Card meanings can be obtained from the World Wide Web. There's so many sites who give such good meanings of cards. So many of them. Tarot.com is there. There's so many of them. You just search, you just type tarot on Google and you'll come with so many sites. There are some really good sites. Eclectic Tarot. There's some of them are really good. You'll get a meaning of the cards on those sites, and it's really worth it. Trust me. And the meditation that is mentioned, all you need to do is please try to do it on Saturday or Tuesday, a few minutes before sunset. Light a candle or an incense and try to meditate near the sea or even a well will do. A water element is very important because water is what governs emotions, your intuitive abilities, and when you try to invoke those powers, you actually make an attempt to invoke them within yourselves, because when your intuitive abilities are improved or when they are more active, you know what choices to make, or at least you're more comfortable in making the choices that you want to make. I'm not saying this will create miracles, but on an emotional level, this will make you more receptive so as to accept the suffering that you're going through. If you are in a situation where a relationship has ended and your heart doesn't allow you to move on, then meditate on the death card. You need to understand one thing: what belongs to us comes to us. So if a relationship has ended, it only implies that the person was not there in your karma. You need to let that person go. Everyone has a choice to make and we need to respect that. What one can do is, at the time of meditating on the death card, pray that the wounds of your heart and soul are healed. Pray that the failure does not affect you or create an obstacle for you to love someone more deserving. Pray that love comes in your life in the form of a more deserving partner. Someone who is there in your karma, someone who will make you accept life the way it is. At times, pain is important in life, otherwise we do not understand the importance and value of pleasure. Pain can also be a source of pleasure. Life is too vast and complicated. Emotions are relative in nature and difficult to understand. To accept is the only alternative we have so as to survive. Since you are reading this article, or in this case if you're watching this video, I will pray that you find all the happiness you deserve in this life. God bless you. Amen. This is Rohit Dua, and do check all my videos online, and any readings you want to know anything about readings, or if you want to approach me for a reading, you're always welcome. God bless you. Yeah. My name is Rohit Dua. I'm going to read out one of my articles in this video. I'm a tarot card reader by profession. If you have any doubts, any queries on this article or any suggestions, then they're most welcome. I would request that you watch this entire video and also watch my other videos online. And if you ever want to know about tarot readings or how a reading is done, or if you want to approach me for a reading, you're most welcome. All you need to do is send an email or contact me via phone, Skype, whichever way it's possible. Yeah, it's not difficult to find my contact details online. All you need to do is search it online on any of the web search engines like Google or any of the websites. You'll have to search with 3 keywords. The first keyword would be my name, my first name, that is spelled as R for Rotterdam, O for Oscar, H for Hong Kong, I for Indonesia, T for Tango, that is Rohit, space. The second keyword would be my last name, that is D for Delta, U for United, A for Alpha, Dua, space. The third keyword would be Tarot, T-A-R-O-T, Tango, Alpha, Rotterdam, Oscar, Tango. With these 3 keywords, you'll be able to search my profiles on different sites and also my contact details. This article was published in March 2013. Okay, the title is Meditation and Rituals Involving Tarot Cards. Meditation as a term is very subjective and relative. What applies to you may not apply to me. At the same time, we both could be right in our own way. My own understanding is restricted and flawed due to prejudice, bias, and past experiences. What heals your soul and helps you dig your subconscious and seek what is not known or acknowledged or not yet accepted. There are many modes and techniques of meditation. Although I am not the appropriate person to comment on meditation, my soul is too restless and chaotic to find peace and calm within. However, if you have a temperament which is receptive and not hyper, then one can gain a lot from meditations involving tarot cards. I come across a lot of people who ask me, what purpose do tarot rituals serve? What is there to gain in approaching these rituals? I agree and accept that in this world, people approach a card reader or perform rituals, whether rituals involving tarot cards or purely Wiccan rituals, for a selfish objective and to gain something in the end. I mean, obviously, an objective is bound to be there. We all do everything. Whatever we do in life has to have a purpose or some selfish objective in the end. However, the irony of rituals or with rituals is such: when we perform them with an objective or a fixed end result, we may not always get what we expect. Faith is something that has to come on its own. I cannot expect anyone to have faith when they are not willing to. However, respect is necessary while performing a ritual. Respect for the ritual and the fact that it is a sacred rite, performed to please the higher power. Even burning a single candle is a ritual in itself, as long as you consider it sacred within your heart and respect it. Every ritual is an effort. Again, not every ritual may give results. This does not imply that every ritual which has not yielded any result is not effective or not performed with the right intention. There are times when we may never know why a particular ritual has not worked. Some questions don't have an answer. Suffering is inevitable, and even if a ritual does work, no one can help you escape suffering. As long as we live, we have to suffer. Living on the edge is a part of survival. Meditation is something I am still to learn and practice. I do not even know whether I will be able to do so in this lifetime. My temperament is too volatile to find peace within, which we all crave for. Paul Brighton once told me, he lives in the United Kingdom, in the UK. He once told me that in order to meditate, one need not always sit in one place, in a static position, and force one's mind to concentrate. He did mention and suggest a few good techniques. However, I was too restless and hyper to do them. I do respect him a lot, and if you're watching this video, you know I'm grateful to you for many things. Considering the fact that he has a temperament very similar to that of an athlete or sportsman, because he plays ice hockey as much as I remember. However, at the same time, he's someone who's capable enough to dig into one's subconscious mind. This is a very rare. Requires a lot of effort of the mind, and one blessed with a soul destined to find its way. When I started learning the tarot cards, I would keep looking at each card. In the beginning for 2 to 5 minutes. A few years later, the time span increased to 7 or 8 minutes. I wish I could concentrate on each card for more than 7 minutes. However, my restless temperament is an obstacle at every stage. Unfortunately, in the past few years, due to time and health constraints, I have stopped this ritual completely. However, to focus your thoughts and your mind on any one single tarot card is a good way to learn and also effective when you're looking for answers. To sharpen your mind and to increase your intuitive abilities, one can meditate on the High Priestess or the Hermit card. This is the High Priestess card and this is the Hermit card. I'm using a Morgan Green tarot deck, Morgan Green, and this is one of the beautiful decks I've come across. It's a very beautiful deck, very in depth and very beautiful and gorgeous. The High Priestess card, this is a card which is ruled by Moon, and the Hermit card is a card which is ruled by Mercury. These are two cards which make us dig deep inside our soul. There are times when we look for answers out there. We keep approaching people for different answers, but